Hello friends, today we're going to dive into the topic of how to list your vacation rental on Facebook Marketplace. So by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to list your vacation rental home on Facebook Marketplace. That's going to boost your bookings and engage with potential guests. Imagine getting more bookings and more exposure by utilizing a tool that's becoming more and more popular. Have you ever wondered or considered how some of these vacation rental homes get more exposure? How are they able to list on Facebook Marketplace? Or have you ever wondered what makes the listing stand out? So I'm going to reveal to you the best practices and tips by creating effective listings by first understanding Facebook Marketplace and how that can work for your vacation rental. Next, I'll explain how Facebook Marketplace can benefit you when it comes to listing your vacation rental property on Facebook Marketplace. And finally, how to utilize it to get the most exposure possible. If you're ready, let's go. So how do Facebook groups work? So on all the research I've done recently, there's a growing trend that shows that people are utilizing Facebook Marketplace more and more to find places to go and to stay and vacation at. And here's another cool thing about Facebook. It actually aligns like-minded individuals into a group that are all looking or doing potentially the same thing or have the same thing in mind. And there's literally groups about anything. I love to vacation. I love to go different places. I'm even part of some groups of certain cities in Mexico, like expats in Mexico. It's just fun to be part of these groups and see what happens. I mean, these are all people who have a desire to maybe go and visit Mexico or stay there long term. And just seeing some of the comments is super interesting. Now, if you translate that over to a vacation rental website, there are hundreds of groups that you could be a part of, and I'm part of a whole bunch. Now, here's the cool thing. When you join those groups, a lot of times they're private just for the people within that group. And so you might have to answer a few questions to be part of it. But once you're part of that group, they're going to show up on your Facebook feed, and you're going to see interesting trends and ideas and tips and tricks that people are utilizing to really enhance and improve their vacation rental, or even getting advice on what they can do to improve their listings. And I found a lot of people said, well, I joined this group, but I rarely see them show up on my feed. Here's one tip to help those Facebook groups that you want to join to be showing up in your feed more regularly. One thing you have to do is continually like, maybe comment occasionally. If you're doing that, that group is going to show up more because the algorithm is looking at what you like, what you want to see, and by you liking them or commenting, that's going to have those posts show up more often in your feed than maybe other things. The other cool thing about a Facebook Marketplace or a group that you're a part of is you can communicate directly with the buyer or the seller or the people in your group. And obviously it gets you the right demographic. For example, let's say that you own a vacation rental in the Smoky Mountains. Now, if you're thinking about the right demographic, that is people that want to visit the Smoky Mountains. So joining a group that is all about the Smoky Mountains or travel to the Smoky Mountains or accommodations in the Smoky Mountains, I promise they have groups on those exact words that I just said. And imagine if you were able to post them there, say, hey, we had a last minute cancellation. This week, we're discounting our vacation rental. If you're coming to visit the Smoky Mountains, I've got the place for you. What an awesome tool to be at your fingertips to be able to list your property and get those last second bookings. And one thing to have caution about when joining these Facebook groups, there's been many times where people put something on there and I've said, yeah, I'm interested in that. Shoot me an email. All of a sudden I've been on their email list where I get a lot of spam from these individuals. So just be cautious on who and when you give your personal information. So how does Facebook Marketplace benefit you as a vacation rental property owner? So first off, it can give you all the resources necessary if you own a vacation rental property. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'll use a personal example of a vacation rental property that we own in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Now, it's about 10 to 15 minutes outside of Blue Ridge in Morganton, but there's been many times where I've gone on Facebook Marketplace and I've actually asked people for help, saying, hey, we just had our cleaners quit. Can you recommend a great cleaner? So I'm part of the Facebook group that is Blue Ridge, Georgia, and I've had a ton of people respond. Our current cleaners there we found through Facebook Marketplace. I've had guests who said, listen, do you know of any service that can give me a ride from Blue Ridge, Georgia down to Atlanta to the airport? Where do you think I went to find the answer to that? I went on that Facebook Marketplace. So it puts all things at your disposal. If you have questions or inquiries, that is the place to go by joining Facebook Marketplaces, Facebook groups that are around the market on where you own a vacation rental property. And as I mentioned previously, obviously it's a great place to list your property to fill up times maybe when you have a vacancy in your calendar. If you were to look at your calendar and think, oh my goodness, if I could just fill up this week or these 3 or 4 days that are coming up next week or 2 weeks from now, and you went to the group that you're a part of or Facebook Marketplace, it could be a fantastic way to fill up those bookings last minute. And you might have to do it as a discount, but filling them up rather than having it sit empty is a great thing. So now let's dive into exactly how you list your home on Facebook Marketplace. And we're gonna go kind of a step-by-step process on exactly how to do this. The first thing you need to do is access Facebook Marketplace. And typically, when you go to Facebook, you're on the home page. It's typically on the left-hand side. You might have to click on the 3 bars or a drop-down, but you'll find Facebook Marketplace. You're gonna wanna click on that. When it pulls that up, next thing you're gonna wanna do is click on Create New Listing. Now, Facebook doesn't know what you're listing, but click on a new listing and it's gonna go a deeper dive into that, ask specifically what you wanna list on Facebook Marketplace. And the listing that you wanna choose is home for sale or rent. And the next thing you wanna do, obviously, is put in all your property details and pictures to list your vacation rental on Facebook. And hopefully you already have all that information because you probably got it listed on Airbnb or Vrbo. So just taking that information, those descriptions, those pictures, and loading it up there, you then have your listing on Facebook Marketplace. And one of the final steps when you list on Facebook Marketplace, it's gonna ask you whether you want the listing to only appear in your feed or you want it to appear in Facebook Marketplace. Now, obviously, I'd suggest Facebook Marketplace to get more exposure. And that really is the main difference there, right? Rather than just your friends or people seeing your listing on your feed, they're gonna see it on Facebook Marketplace. That opens it up for an entire demographic of people that might be searching for a place to stay, to rent, short-term rental, vacation rental in the area of where your property's at. So here are a couple of pointers when it comes to listing on Facebook Marketplace. One of the most important things to do is to optimize and enhance the main photo that's gonna show up there. That's what's gonna attract people. That's the first thing they're gonna see. Now, once you have the right picture and it's optimized and enhanced and it looks awesome, you're gonna wanna make sure that the description is in detail. It's really good, explains everything, just like it would on Airbnb or Vrbo. And then also, you're gonna want multiple points of contact. Your email, maybe a phone number, or multiple ways to get a hold of you, because if they're looking, you want them to be able to contact you right away. And obviously with Facebook, the guest interaction isn't like on Airbnb, so they might direct message you on Messenger on Facebook, or they might just comment below. And another important thing is to be very active in the comment sections. If people are asking questions about it, you wanna make sure that you respond quickly so you can get answers, because if not, they're probably gonna move on. Now, this is what I've seen work well for me, and I've been a big fan of Facebook Marketplace for a long time, but I'd be interested in your feedback. So please comment below. Let's engage in a dialogue. And as always, I've got a free gift for you. It's a short-term vacation rental calculator. You put in all the income, all the expenses, and it will spit out to you whether it's a good deal or not. It's 100% free, no strings attached. Just click on the link below, aaronsfreetraining.com. Once again, thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.